Go ahead and plan your parties. We know the entertainment sector, they've had a really hard hit, as probably as much as tourism has. But tourism, they had a little bit of leeway. Entertainment, very close to zero. So they said, listen, guys, you can go ahead and plan your parties, but they have to be fully vaccinated parties. And what that means, the cleaner, the person who is sweeping, the person who is washing up, the person who is serving food, the event planner, the patrons, the DJ, everybody who is going to sound engineer,
in the speaker boxes,
all of that, the driver and all,
electrician, everybody,
all them things there. Probably the only person who doesn't have to be fully vaccinated is the person who's managing the social media pages for them places here. Apart from that,
were managing the social media pages away from the event.
The photographers who were there, they have to be fully vaccinated. Everybody had to be fully vaccinated. And I'm pretty pleased. I'm proud. I'm proud. I think the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment did an excellent job over the weekend.
Yeah, they did. And you see, I could imagine how difficult it was for the promoters.
Yes.
It wasn't an easy task because, I mean, they were heavily scrutinized. You know, they were like the testing ground. They were like the guinea pigs.
Oh, yeah, pretty much.
So they had to ensure that every single thing was put in place. Everything. And I could tell you this, the ministry, and I had to commend them, they were extremely hard on the promoters.
They should be.
That, right?
They should be. And I feel as though maybe one or two, not one or two. Remember, there were three events that were slated that was supposed to be fully vaccinated, and only two of them got off the ground.
Right.
One of them didn't leave the shore, and I feel that that person or the promoters or whosoever was in charge of that event felt as though, based on probably the trend from before, felt as though the Ministry of Health would not have been.
Dropped the ball, so
they would have dropped the ball. Maybe they could afford to squeeze in somebody or get away with something, but that did not happen.
You get the impression like as if they try to beat the system.
No, not today. Not today. Especially since though a lot of people are just eyeing and waiting on the vaccinated party to flop. And I know a lot of people were saying on social media, those who were at the events, I thought you guys said that these parties would have flopped and had not a single soul or what, but people actually turned out. Now, one of the things that I think it flew over my head, right, was that in order to get into these parties, right, well, not this particular point, but the next one I'm going on to, you had to provide your vaccination card and your ID card in advance, right? Now, one of the things that I didn't realize was that you had to be, I think I read it, but it just went over my head. You had to be vaccinated at least 2 weeks prior to the event.
And there's some people who were penalized for that. There's some people who had to basically skip. You know how they got back their monies.
Right. Right. But I mean, and they came down on that as well. If you had your second shot of the vaccine within 2 weeks of the event, you were sent back home, and there were people who were sent back home.
Don't bother come. Don't bother.
It's not gonna happen. Gonna happen.
They were strict.
Very strict, and they should be. They should be. They tested it, and I think for the most part, based on the protocols, there were hand sanitizers. I mean, it's a fully vaccinated party, so I think you would not expect people to be in mass
safe zone. We're in the safe zone.
For the most part.
But is it the way forward? I think I'm not sure how long. I could tell you this.
It's gonna last.
You're not gonna get it every weekend for sure.
It's a bit, on a promoter, it's a bit much, and you realize that they have to include a lot more expenses.
This right now is where you're gonna have to prove your love for the industry right now, because listen, the additional costs. The additional cost putting up one of these events right here is gonna be exorbitant. You know, you're not gonna easily slip by. This is for the diehards right now. Where we at? Sad to say. I mean, I welcome it. I welcome the initiative. Going forward, it ain't gonna be easy.
Nope.
It ain't gonna be easy. In order to make money from these events, you're gonna have to have money up front to begin with in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. Another thing too, you would understand that the price point for the event, you cannot throw off a $20 show.
And
a $20 fully vaccinated show.
No, I think
you can't throw off a $40 fully vaccinated
as
show.
Event producers, I think we could smile with that part because you know for sure.
Some of y'all, listen, this is not for the promoters there who are thinking of having fully vaccinated parties to go and take advantage.
Listen,
but you cannot have. I don't see it happening as a profitable venture.
Even before COVID-19, we were starting to do away with $20 party.
Boy,
yeah,
them things
we have to do. So
though.
right now, you gotta make up your mind to pay in the region of starting at probably $60, $70,
60 and up. 60 and up.
If you're serious about making a profit at one of these events, you can't go below there.
Not only that, listen, boy, I wonder, boy, when COVID-19 goes away, whenever that happening, some people say it's the next 2-3 years, 3 years. Are we going to keep the prices?
Of course we're going to keep the prices. We're going back up. You can't drop the standard. You can't drop the standard right up inside its thing. So that for me is a big plus. That's a broad smile.
Of course it is.
That's
for the person
smile.
who is going, for the person who is attending like me here, I'll be like, shucks. More money again. Outfit, hair, nails, shoes, everything, plus an extra maybe $20, $40, $60 on that already on that ticket price there, boy.
There are quite a number of takeaways from what happened on the weekend with these events. It's a step in the right direction. I'm gonna go ahead and encourage it. Who can afford to go ahead and bring the next one? Hurry up and bring the next one.
It wouldn't be as regular. Right?
Well, that is for certain. But then that could be a plus because it means then that the hunger, you understand, would be there.
But it was there, though.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, because there are people who went to both parties and they enjoyed themselves.
The thing is, I'm thinking that there was a cap in terms of the number of persons who you can allow to attend.
Right.
That I think sooner or later we're gonna change that. So we could start seeing a little 500 and
everyone. Victoria Park kind of scene.
It could be nice.
Victoria Park kind of scene.
Kudos to the promoters, Luther and a number of others, Siobhan and Latoya and their team as well.
And they were both well attended, eh?
They
were both well attended.
It's good. I like it. I like it. A step in the in the right direction.
It's the right direction because of the prices and the money.
When
all these things on it stayed.
It was good for testing. I'm certain that the ministry would have found out whether or not there were loopholes, and I think that happened along the way. And those loops were tightened. They made adjustments where it could have been I could imagine how frustrating it was on the promoters from time to time, especially when it came around to the protocols that were in place.
They had to do a lot of extra work.
It was tedious.
Boy, I tell you, to go in, first of all, there was a line, and when they sit in there, they have these compilation of papers, like a little booklet of an Excel spreadsheet with everybody's name, ID number, and I believe they would have flagged a couple people because they also had the ability to give some persons rapid tests. So they might have flagged some individuals for whatever reason and say, okay, this person might need a rapid test before they enter. So you have to say that or prove that you're negative. But with that I don't understand because for that particular case, the person came from overseas, right? They would have gone through the PCR testing. They would have gone through the quarantine. I did not see the reason for them having to do a rapid test. If that was the case, then why not keep them in quarantine for a longer time?
Right.
You understand? But anyways,
Understood.
They have to know why they want to put things that way. But you can hit us up on WhatsApp 4301043.
It's not really to beat up on them, but they even to ease on the frustration because it was like basically going ahead, not really trial and error, but it was a novel experience, so there would have been some teething problems. But I think they're gonna have to now focus on doing better in regards to the database that is in place, because that posed some level of problems for, especially when it came to doing the checks. Checking to verify, when you have to verify that
just perhaps
yes,
why they
this
need,
person.
well, one reason why they perhaps needed more time, the 2 weeks in advance.
But I think it's something that they picked up on late, but I'm certain that it would be rectified going forward. But overall,
teething.
Thumbs up. I love the fact that the ministry, they stuck to the guns, they put the measures in place. They stuck to the guns. It was a whole lot of back and forth, yes, but job well done on both sides. The Ministry of Health, and I mean, it took a lot of understanding on the side of the promoters as well. But kudos,
well,
they stuck to the task.
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. But good morning, Miss Kitty.
From what we gathered is like, even though part of the problem with the event that didn't happen, right? They took it for granted when the ministry said everybody who is operating at the event must be vaccinated.
Fully vaccinated.
I think they took that for granted.
Yes.
Because, so it was a cruise. And maybe they probably figure, well, maybe it wasn't their responsibility to ensure that captain and crew were vaccinated.
But as a promoter,
you should have.
It says everyone. Everybody has to be fully vaccinated.
Everybody.
Fully vaccinated as well.
They took it for granted.
I know some people had one shot, from what we're told. Some people had one shot. And they thought that was acceptable, but it's not. No, imagine the amount of money that you lost.
Yeah.
Because you did not follow the rules and you took something for granted. That's real sad.
Even that, I still think outside now of the promoters, too many people still taking this thing for granted. For example, the guys who operated the boat, right? Now, that is the industry that they're working in. They are, in some cases, would be directly exposed to persons, foreigners, for example, because they would do the boat trips, the cruises, and so on and so forth. Why didn't they go ahead?
Their trips, especially along the northern coast, have increased.
It should not have taken the event for them to understand the importance of them getting vaccination. It should not have taken that.
Shouldn't
I mean, this is the industry that they're working in. They are directly, and this is what we've been saying all along. You become directly exposed to so many different foreigners on a daily basis. You have to take the responsibility. The onus is on you to protect yourself. And they took that for granted.
Yes, I mean, and the reality is, right, a lot of people who are against getting vaccination, they've said that persons who are they keep holding on to this point. And yes, we have been told that even if you're vaccinated, you can still become infected with COVID-19. But in terms of your response to it, it's much better than not being vaccinated. Now, we're gonna wait for 2 weeks. And the persons who are against getting vaccinated, they're sitting down there and they're gonna wait patiently and hoping. I know that some people are hoping for there to be a spike just because. Just because. But we'll see.
Go ahead and do what you gotta do.
But we'll see. We'll see how it works, all right? All right, let's get some comments from coming from the WhatsApp. If you want to hit us up, 430-1043. You can also join us live on Facebook at Extreme 104 SVG. Remember to like, share, and comment. All right, here's one here. Hi, good morning. Concerning the vaccinated parties, with the new variants being spread, vaccinated folks have to wear masks all around folks, especially indoors. Would that protocol be followed for these parties? I feel as time goes on, the protocols will change. I feel that when, because at the very beginning we had said COVID ain't coming here with low risk, yada yada yada, and then bam, it reached here, right? Now we're still behind in terms of every time something happens in the international arena, it takes a while for it to come down here. So it's a matter of when it gets here. So when the new strains get here, I feel that the protocols will change and adjust to that.
Of course.
So until then, we would continue. Once this proves to work, we will continue as is.
But I think we should go ahead and be prepared for that new variant, that Delta variant. Reaching our shores.
Oh yes.
We should. Don't wait until it get it to take action. Go ahead and be proactive with our approach going forward.
Somebody says here, Sharon, good morning, thank you so much. A proof of COVID-19 vaccine. This appears to be an app or something online coming from the ministry. I'm sure if you could see it here, this should get this in Vinci. No. This is in Canada.
Oh, I
Canada.
know
This is
the
what
US,
they use in
the US
Canada.
has something similar.
But it'll nice to have an app.
Yeah.
It'll nice to have an app, and it doesn't take a lot to create an app.
Barbados as well.
But then again, if we Jesus, let me not go into technology this morning. Hello, good morning.
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 Favorite taxi man on the inside there, boy.
Safe zone and all them kind of things.
Well,
Tourism season, turn up, me buddy.
Hey, what happened, right? Everywhere I go and I turn, we seem to have a discussion on COVID-19 and vaccine. So there's a consensus that people know that it exists and it is a dangerous disease that creates a pandemic in St. Grenadines, right? Yet we're seeing so much resistance from taking the vaccine. While the science put us on notice that the vaccine, if taken, will not prevent you or will not give you absolute protection, but it's a vaccine to boost your immune system so you can resist the symptoms of COVID-19, right?
Right.
I heard Fuji just say a while ago, we should put things in place to prevent the other strains from coming here. But how would that be possible, Fuji?
No.
Wasn't it to get ready?
No. I didn't say put measures in place, and I said we should go ahead and be proactive with our approach because eventually it is gonna get here.
Right.
I'm speaking about persons who are unvaccinated. Don't wait until it comes here and then there's a rampage. You understand? Go ahead and do what you should do.
Okay, well, now you clarified. I don't have to go into the comments I was going to make because I was going to suggest that while we are trying to encourage people to take the vaccine, it is a lingering thought that we may experience the new strain coming here. And
I believe so. I believe it will.
Yes, and you see people still resisting of taking the vaccine because they're just dragging their feet on the ground. Well, I reached a position, all right. Protecting ourselves is dependent on each other. I don't know how protective it will be if people still be carefree, and I want to be as protective as possible. So I come to a conclusion. So I throw my hands up in the air and say, we BB, as Kappa say, and let people pay the penalty because we had 12 deaths. 12 deaths too much, right? 600,000 people die in the state. That's 6 times the population of St. Grenadines. Yes, we have been rumors about medical issues, reaction to taking the vaccine. That is in the minority, 0.01%. And I am still yet to be convinced by persons like Hamilton and persons like Jomo Thomas, who is suggesting to us that the vaccine is not necessary because the science says it doesn't offer us 100% protection. So what should we do? Well,
but vitamins don't offer us 100% protection against the common cold and all those other ailments. But we rush and take them anyways.
Right. And then we hear in the Prime Minister saying that the amendment to the Public Health Act is not to make vaccine mandatory, right? But
holistically.
But he was going to take out the word voluntary and put in something like it has to happen because of frontline workers, including myself, right? So it doesn't come over like he's pressuring me, but it comes over like he says, boy, if you want to continue to work here, jump in line and go someplace.
You have a choice.
You have a choice.
You have a choice. That choice is yours.
So while I am the person, I want to be person advocating for vaccine. I believe that it's a personal choice and one should be convinced beyond the reasonable doubt to take it like Fuji did, like I did, right? And I don't like the way that they go to Parliament to see if they could revisit the Public Act and change the word and make it sound like you have to.
Why not? Why you don't like it?
Because Christians, they went sometimes during the course of this year and they pass this bill into an act. It becomes law.
Yeah.
Right? Not even 6 months after you're going to take back this law to amend certain aspect of the wording. And you're still saying to me, Christian, it is not mandatory. But you take it out the word voluntary. Voluntary means I should take it.
But Kingsley, you were for making it mandatory though. But the reason,
Change
and
of heart,
I well, somebody must talk to you. An old person speak to you or what?
But hey, Christian,
Yeah.
don't read into what I'm saying more than what I'm trying to explain.
This is coming from Kingsley. Wow.
If I said in the past that I am supporting mandatory, I still support it because you know why? The Prime Minister. Let me explain. The Prime Minister is in the position where he could have go to the Parliament long time and make it mandatory.
Okay.
We had so much discussion across the board. Why should it be mandatory, right? He's going to appeal certain aspect of the public tax. He said some time ago, don't come shake his hand with no gloves on. He said he will give it prayerful consideration before he take the vaccine. So the Prime Minister is responsible for what's taking place, the resistance, right? He could have changed all that when he decided that vaccine is not mandatory. Make it mandatory. So if you think that I'm having a lingering thought, you don't think I should, with the amount of information as you see out there, that people are making a query if they should and why they should and if it may help them, you don't think I have that responsibility to pay attention to those persons and I'm not having a change of mind, but I'm paying attention to people's thoughts.
Okay.
So don't read into my presentation.
Not me alone, eh? Not me alone. You have some followers out there that will read into what you're saying too.
Okay, well, chances that throwing me under the bus and put me on notice that people will think I'm
I won't throw you under the bus. I might throw you under the taxi, but not the bus.
But honestly speaking, I will still maintain that we have to be responsible.
But
and I don't know. Yeah,
go ahead. No, I was going to ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask, what has the response been like among taxi operators? Because I know probably about 2 weeks or so, out of 350 thereabout operators, we only had about 40 being fully vaccinated. Where are you able to see?
Well,
with the promotion of the safe zone and getting registered and all of that. What is the response like?
I will tell you something, right? I can't speak to the entire fraternity for the taxi driver association, but I'm based at the airport, right? And unless we have about approximately 50 individuals registered to operate taxi at the airport. Not that every one time 50 show up. So 35 to 40 minimum, right? And about for the figure who are fully vaccinated, just about 10. Okay? So that will tell you that the resistance is across the board. They made some declaration last Saturday that unless you're not fully vaccinated, you can't be operating at the airport. The airport could take themselves out of that statement and say that the tourism authority, anybody Glen Beach, who is the CEO, is the person who is responsible for issuing us a taxi license. Having an H license from the license authority, which is the commissioner of police, is a different thing than having a taxi license to operate in service of the grain. So you get that from the Ministry of Tourism, in particular the CEO, Glen Beach, right? So he put that as one of his policies. So if you don't have his blessing, you can't operate taxis to pick up people from port of entry or to work at the airport. So he either do or you find some place.
Where are you where that is concerned? With that stance that is being taken? Agree? In agreement?
Of course you'll be in agreement. Sorry.
Let me answer you. Should you forget what Crystal?
Yeah. Do that.
Crystal.
Forget about me, man. Forget about me. Don't answer me.
I've been operating taxi since I was 18, right? I'm over 50 now, right? And this is all I've been doing for my life. I have less time to live than I already live. So I took the vaccine based on the state of my employment. I put my employment first and plan to live with the risk of dying or the risk of getting sick. So I took the vaccine based on that.
Right.
The other guys who resisted the vaccine out there, some say they're not taking it because they have religious conviction they shouldn't. Some are following the misinformation. Some are also saying that I lost 2 persons who claim they have medical help. But here what issues? But here what happened now in Fuji? When they implement a new policy, is that a doctor who's going to give a statement to say that you're medical unfit enough? Is the chief medical officer. You hear that? Not your doctor. You have to get the okay from the chief medical officer.
Right.
So you could go to your doctor to the way, unless the CMO say that you're not sick, you have to take the vaccine if you want to work at the RS.
CMO is a doctor, so.
So I don't know how that is sitting with the persons, but as it is now, I am benefiting a little bit more because I am one of the persons who vaccinated.
All right.
And we see people coming to the airport, Fuji and Crystal, asking and making demand to drive it fully vaccinated.
Yeah, I got that too.
And that is taking place.
Yeah.
So,
And there's nothing wrong with that. You see where the trend is going.
When you see where the trend is going, so
Yes,
I am following the trend. Young people think trend. I'm also a throwback advocate. But I have to get in line or find someone else employment. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And I have a great day, God.
All
right, same to you. Thanks. All right, we're gonna good morning to Claudia Sam on the Facebook Live. Good morning to Elliot. Claudia says, you guys think so. Haha. I'm not sure what you're referring to because we missed that one there. But we're gonna take a break on the live right now. Play some music. And then we're going to take a commercial break, and come right back with your further responses, all right? It's a wake-up call for Tuesday morning.